Hello people of YouTube, I'm Brad Parsons of Polarity Products. This is Aiden.
Hello again YouTube. You
may recognise him from our game playthroughs if you've been watching that. If not,
thank you 5 people who's been watching.
If not, then you won't recognise him. He's a good friend of mine. We're both united by many similar interests, one of which is Dragon Ball. And, you know, we've been thinking for a while that we need to start making some more videos, more than just game playthroughs, and one of the ideas we came up with was some discussion videos about things that are from different pieces of media, films, games, books, whatever, and Dragon Ball is one of the things that we watch a lot of, sometimes together.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the nude. No, but seriously, we thought we'd do some discussions on Dragon Ball topics, and today's topic is just to start us off. It's a topic that's been discussed quite a lot. There's a lot of videos that you can watch which go into this. We thought we'd give our opinion on it, and it is, out of the two fusions of Goku and Vegeta, which one is more powerful, Vegito or Gogeta? To start off, we're going to explain who they are. Vegito is the fusion of Goku and Vegeta through something called
that's for me to stumble up, not you.
through something called the Potala Fusion, which is where earrings are used. One person would put in the one earring, the other person would put in the other, and they fuse together into a new being.
Well, the fusion dance is another one which forms as Gogeta, and basically two characters who's got similar power levels, similar size and all that, they would do this sort of dance, and when they match together they become one person, but it's only for 30 minutes time limit.
The key differences between the two really are that the dance lasts 30 minutes. Well, the dance itself doesn't, but the fusion afterwards lasts 30 minutes.
Well, imagine dancing for 30 minutes just to get into the fusion.
Whereas the Potala Fusion doesn't have a time limit. In fact, it is permanent. You can't unfuse after the fusion's been done. So, you know, for that reason, many people would prefer to do the dance, because then they can split again after it's done. But the thing is, they have to have similar builds, similar power levels in order to do the fusion dance, whereas the Potala Fusion can fuse any two people. So basically, Goku and Vegeta throughout the series do both of these fusion techniques. The Potala Fusion makes Vegito, the dance makes Gogeta, and we're discussing which one of the two is more powerful. Now, in some future videos, it may come to the point where Aiden and I differ in opinion, and we end up doing a debate on the subject. But in this situation, both Aiden and I, this isn't I'm not Aiden, but both of us agree that Vegito is more powerful than Gogeta.
Yeah.
At least by potential. What I mean by that is, in the series itself, Gogeta reaches a higher power than Vegito ever does. But that's purely because the dance is used as a form of fusion later on when the characters are more powerful in their base forms. In GT, it's used when they're in their Super Saiyan 4 form. So Gogeta is in Super Saiyan 4, and he's extremely powerful then.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand why they're stuck with the fusion though, because obviously if they're stuck with the other way, you wouldn't have Goku and Vegeta no more. You'd be stuck with Vegito. So obviously, because they still wanted to keep them two separate as they are, they decided to have them keep using the fusion technique, which is quite understandable why.
Yeah, it's understandable why they did that, but at the same time, even though they did use the dance and become Gogeta, and he was extremely powerful in GT, the fact is, when they did use the earrings and became Vegito, it was in Z, it was earlier on, it was when the base characters weren't as powerful. So Vegito, although he was extremely powerful, the most powerful character at the time, he only ever went to Super Saiyan, he never went beyond that. So Gogeta became more powerful in the series, but only because it was used later on, he went into a more powerful Super Saiyan form. But Aiden and I are both of the opinion that in GT, had they used the Potala Fusion when they were in Super Saiyan 4 form and became Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, it would have been even more powerful than the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was.
Yeah, and basically the reason we say this is because if you take both of them at this exact same level, when they come to fuse, when you put the earrings in, you can both be at full power. Doesn't matter what your power level is and all that. As soon as you put the earrings in, unite together. The trouble is with the fusion dance is, when Goku and Vegeta had to use it, Goku had to lower his power level a bit.
As we've stated earlier, the characters required to have a similar build in order to do the fusion technique, but also similar power levels. Their power levels had to pretty much be at the same. And at the point when they do the fusion dance, Goku is a more powerful character than Vegeta. So in order for them to fuse via the dance, Goku had to lower his power level to match Vegeta's, so that they could fuse. Which meant that the Gogeta character was created out of a full power Vegeta, but a reduced power Goku. Whereas the Potala Fusion allowed the fusion of a full power Goku and Vegeta. So for this reason, the fact that one allows both to be at full power, this is why Elder Kai in the series, when he explains the Potala Fusion, says that it's the best form of fusion. He knows about the fusion dance, but Elder Kai himself says that Potara is the superior fusion. The only reason that the Potara Fusion isn't used as often as the fusion dance is because it's permanent. The one occasion that Potara was ever used was when Vegeta was created, and the only reason that the characters managed to separate afterwards was because Vegeta was consumed by Majin Buu, and the weird atmosphere inside Majin Buu's body caused them to separate. But if they'd stayed as Vegito in the correct atmosphere of the universe, they would never have been able to part, and they would have been stuck as Vegito forever.
Basically, if they beat Super Buu, then.
The only reason they used the Potara Fusion in that moment was because Majin Buu was an immediate threat. So Goku didn't have time to find someone and teach them how to do the fusion dance with him. He needed to use the Potala Fusion because the problem needed to be sorted right then. So in that moment he was looking for someone to fuse with. Initially Gohan was his first choice, but he fucked it up when he tried to catch the hearing.
Yeah, and then Gohan got absorbed, so Gohan was at the picture.
Yeah. For a moment it looked like the only other choice would be Hercule Satan, which would have been funny.
That would have been so hilarious.
But then
Goku and Mr. Satan.
I would have loved to have seen that, to be fair.
Oh.
But then Vegeta showed up, and they ended up doing the Potala Fusion.
Eventually.
But, yeah, Vegeta wasn't happy about the idea of fusing at first, but although he was swayed into fusing, there wouldn't have been time to teach him how to do the dance, so obviously Potala was the only choice then, which in terms of the battle helped, because the Potala Fusion was more powerful than the dance would have been. But the problem with it was that it was supposed to be permanent. This is why the rest of the times that a fusion is used in the series, it's always done with the dance. Whenever Goten and Trunks fuse into Gotenks, it's via the dance. Goku and Vegeta commonly use Gogeta afterwards. Well, I say commonly, they do it like
twice.
Yeah, they do it in a film, which isn't even canon, and then at the end of GT, which isn't even canon, to be fair. So you could say that Gogeta himself isn't a canon character, but that's not really the topic we're discussing here. It's if they were both considered as canon, which would be more powerful. But I think all the stuff that we've gone over has, explained why Vegito is more powerful than Gogeta. Although Gogeta reaches a higher power in the series, if Vegito was used at the times when Gogeta was used, then the Vegito form would have been even more powerful. Purely because it's a better fusion.
Basically, it's just if they're at the same power level and they use the two fusion techniques.
Yeah, if you took...
That's the point, it's the same... They've got to be exactly the same power level.
If you took a moment in time when Goku and Vegeta were together and branched that moment off into two separate timelines, and in the one timeline they turn into Vegito, and at the other time they turn into Gogeta, during that moment of being at the same sort of strength, then out of the two, Vegito and Gogeta, Vegito would be the most powerful.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Purely because it's a superior fusion. doesn't cause one character to hold back. So both characters are being fused at their full potential. There's not really much more to say about it. This has been discussed by many people. Most of them do come to the same conclusion, that Vegito is the most powerful, at least in potential. Like we say, he wasn't used later on, so Gogeta was allowed to become more powerful. But if Vegito was used, it would have been even better. So that's pretty much all we've got to say on it. Like we said, this is a common topic, so there are a lot of videos you can watch out there that most of them come to the same conclusion, but we thought we'd give, you know, our thoughts on it, and hopefully we'll come up with a few more unique discussions afterwards. This is really a way to start off. This is our first discussion video, so let us know what you thought, if you think it went well, if you think we did a good job, ways that we can make it a bit more entertaining perhaps, because we want you, the viewers, to enjoy it as much as we enjoy making these videos. So give us your feedback, give us your support. Remember to hit that subscribe button. Yeah, let's become one of those channels. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time we do one of these, or at least you'll see us and we'll pretend to see you. And that's it. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, see you later.